Sammy Morris both got injured in the snow. Both teams moved the ball. Neither team could score. Buffalo sinking to New England's level. The high-flying Ravens entertained the clipped-winged Cardinals, and Trent Dilfer's wounded duck to Shannon Sharp led to the game's first score, which came on a 32-yard field goal by Matt Stover. 3-0 Ravens, just like the old Tony Banks days. Jake Plummer hit Frankie Colonel Sanders for a 27-yard touchdown to put Arizona up 7-3. But then Jamie Sharper outfought Chris Gedney for an interception. Sharper returned it 45 yards to set the Ravens up once again. This time there was no settling for a field goal. Jamal Lewis scored the touchdown on a 1-yard run that put Baltimore up for good. The Ravens win 13-7 in the Battle of the Birds. Thomas Jones lost the battle of the rookie running backs as Lewis had 126 yards. Dr. Dilfer reverted back to Mr. Hyde, 12 for 22 for just 70 yards. More snow in Cleveland, where Eddie George's touchdown run put Tennessee up 10-0. Forget dome stadiums, this is football. Steve McNair's 33-yard pass to Derek Mason put the Titans in scoring position. Look at those footprints in the snow. Now watch Lorenzo Neal as he sticks with the block. Eddie George follows him and then leans into the end zone for another score. The Titans go up 17-0. Watch the effort by Eddie George. George had 176 yards rushing on the day and got his third touchdown on a 35-yard run as Tennessee shut out Cleveland 24-0 to stay ahead in the race for home field advantage throughout the playoffs. It was the fourth time Cleveland have been shut out this season. They gained only 113 yards. Derek Mason now had set an NFL record 2,578 all-purpose yards. It was snowing in 9 degrees Fahrenheit in southern Ohio, but that didn't stop Mark Brunell and Jimmy Smith putting the Jags up 7-0 over the Bengals in the Feline Derby. Rookie Peter Warrick looks like he's picking his way through a minefield. He keeps his footing. Everyone else falls on a field that looked like the Western Front 1917. Watch him break the tackle from Brian Barker. Now Corey Hall starts celebrating. Eric Olson knocks him over, but Warrick goes 82 yards to tie the game up at 7. In the third quarter, Fred Taylor's touchdown run put Jacksonville back on top 14-7. But then Scott Mitchell did his best Steve Young imitation. Mitchell scrambles 12 yards to tie the game at 14. This is easy, says Mitchell, whose idea of scrambling is usually having his brain scrambled as he gets sacked. On the ensuing kickoff, rookie Chiron Stiff did his R.J. Soward imitation. He fumbles the ball, the Bengals recover, and that sets up Neil Rackers for a 27-yard field goal. His first career game winner. Game-winning field goals are not something you do every day in Cincinnati. The Bengals win 17-14. Danny Farmer, cut by Pittsburgh, had 3 big catches. Mike Hollis slipped on that awful field and missed a field goal. Taylor had his 9th straight 100-yard game. Just to the left of Jimmy Hoffa, Charlie Batch throws a pass behind Victor Green. He intercepts and returns it 27 yards to the Lions' 1-yard line. That set up Curtis Martin for a 1-yard touchdown run. That put the Jets up 7-0 over the Lions. In the third quarter, James Stewart went 32 yards on a screen pass to set up a Jason Hansen field goal and cut the lead to 7-3 Jets. Then in the fourth, Stewart fumbled into the end zone, but Detroit guard Jeff Hastings recovers for the touchdown to put the Lions up by 3. John Hall's 35-yard field goal went to Hoffa's left, and the Lions beat the Jets 10-7, keeping their playoff hopes alive and postponing the Jets.
I think this hurts even more than last week because we were home, we had the crowd on our side, ready to wrap this thing up and lock up a playoff spot. But it just didn't happen.
I don't want to get into making any excuses. I missed a kick. I'm a man. I'm going to suck it up, and that's it. No big deal. You determine whether conditions had a problem, and get back to me.
If he's a man, why is he wearing that stupid necklace? Stewart's 164 yards rushing makes him the first Lion who didn't win a Heisman Trophy to gain over 1,000 in a season. And looking at the standings, nothing has changed since last week. Miami, the Jets, Indy still in the hunt. Nobody's clinched a playoff spot in the Central. Tennessee and Baltimore both clinched playoff spots, with the division still up for grabs, and Pittsburgh is still in the hunt. And out west, Oakland and Denver still in that two-horse race, or two-bronco race, for the end. And we take a look now.
There you go. That's the way the divisions are breaking down. And yeah.
Indianapolis needs the Jets and the Dolphins to lose, and they need to win. Pittsburgh needs to win, and they have to have the Jets and the Colts both lose in order to get that playoff spot. Everybody else, it's a division thing. Tennessee can clinch their division with a win. Oakland can clinch their division with a win, but then we get a combination of wins and losses for the other teams, Baltimore and Denver, to catch them.
Which means we get down to this bit now, and I guess this is crucial because it's where you're playing your games now. Then.
It really is tough. Actually, Indianapolis against Minnesota in the Dome is an interesting matchup with two big offenses and two not-so-big defenses. The Jets have a tough game in Baltimore. Miami, as I said, bad weather in New England. Tennessee at Dallas, that's our game on Channel 5 next Tuesday. And Oakland against Carolina, and Denver and San Francisco, both, interesting matchups there to see who comes out with the AFC West title.
Yes, indeed.
If they're tied, remember, Denver win because they've beaten Oakland twice.
And the way it's going, just...
Saturday in Pittsburgh, Washington's Tommy Barnhart joined the Martin Gramatica Toreador Tacklers Club. Hank Reed-Poteet returns. He breaks away. And now watch Barnhart. Olé! It's a 53-yard touchdown and a 10-3 Steeler lead. Washington's savior, Jeff George, hits Albert Cannell, and so does Chad Scott. Cannell sniders the ball to Scott, and that gives the Steelers possession. And that set up Richard Huntley on a 3-yard touchdown run that put Pittsburgh up 17-3. Then Huntley went 30 yards for another touchdown, including running right through number 24, Champ Bailey. Steelers win 24-3 in the final game at Three Rivers Stadium. Jerome Bettis had his 7th straight 100-yard rushing game. Steelers keep their playoff hopes alive. The Skins turned the ball over 5 times as they continued their improvements, and Stan Snyder fired Norv Turner. The Giants were looking to clinch the NFC East in Dallas, but Emmitt Smith put the Cowboys up 7-0. The Giants trailed 13-0 at the half, but Kerry Collins hit Amani Toomer for a 33-yard touchdown that put New York on the board. Then Tiki Barber's 13-yard touchdown run put the Giants up 14-13. They went on to win 17-13 and claim the NFC East title. Barber wound up with 80 yards rushing, but it was Michael Barrow with 11 tackles who led the Giants. The Cowboys' Anthony Wright was allowed to throw more than 5 passes this week. That was a mistake. The Vikings were looking to stay ahead in the race for home field advantage at home to Green Bay. Favre to Freeman had the Packers up 10-0. Watch Dante Culpepper shrug off Bonnie Holiday's attempt at a sack, and then hit Randy Moss for a 78-yard touchdown to put the Vikings within 3. And watch Moss as he simply outruns Jamie Sharper. It's casual, isn't it? Brett Favre to Amon Green gave the Packers a 17-7 lead. Then down 20-7, Dante Culpepper scrambles for a touchdown to bring Minnesota within 6 points at the half. And when 265-pound scrambles, nobody gets in his way. Culpepper's 20-yard touchdown pass to Johnny McWilliams pulled Minnesota within 2, 23-21. But Favre's 3rd touchdown pass of the game, this one to Bill Schrader, gave Green Bay a 30-21 lead. And then Jamie Sharper got some revenge as he took this interception back 47 yards to set up Ryan Longwell's 4th field goal of the game, and that gave the Packers a 12-point spread. Once they were up by 12, even a late touchdown to Chris Carter couldn't overcome the lead. The Pack kept their playoff hopes alive. Denny Green paid tribute to Favre.
Brett played very well. He's a great warrior. I mean, I think, again, he's a guy that goes on the field and competes to the end, and, you know, he's able to get it done today.
You can't imagine the closeness and chemistry and character that we have in this locker room. I think today was a direct indication of that.
They just simply came here and just mashed it. You know, simple as that. I think Favre played a heck of a game. His receivers played a heck of a game. And, you know, all week, you know, it's just a lot of talking going on. And, you know, when it comes to a lot of talking and stuff, that shows me that you're really not ready for a game.
And Green had another huge game for the Pack. The big story was Brett Favre. Green Bay's got more chemistry than Bill Romanowski. At the Superdome, the Saints were looking to get into position to clinch the NFC West, and Aaron Brooks' 52-yard pass to Joe Horn set up an early field goal by Doug Bryant. Then Sammy Knight picked off Doug Johnson, returned the interception 31 yards for a touchdown. That gave the Saints a 10-0 lead over the Falcons. But Derek Vaughn took the second half kickoff back 88 yards. That cut the Saints' lead to 13-7. A nice effort by the kicker, Brian. At least make it look good, Doug. But newcomer Terry Allen's 2-yard touchdown run gave the Saints a 20-7 lead. They went on to win 23-7. They'll clinch a playoff spot if either St. Louis or Tampa lose on Monday night. Terry Allen had 82 yards rushing, but it was a big day by Aaron Brooks passing, which led the Saints to their victory.
I think it's time for me to go, but San Francisco, I always love you guys, okay? You guys are number one for me, okay?
Ladies and gentlemen, Jerry Rice. It may have been Jerry Rice's last home game for the Niners, but Greg Clark caught the game's first touchdown pass. San Francisco led the Bears 7-0. Jeff Garcia's 28-yard pass to Terrell Owens set up another touchdown. Owens had 20 catches on the day. The touchdown came on a 27-yard toss from Garcia to Owens. San Francisco went on to beat Chicago 17-0. And Terrell Owens went on to rack up 20 catches for 283 yards. That broke Tom Fears' 50-year-old record for most catches in a game, and Tom Fears never thought that one would be broken. But the day belonged to Jerry Rice, who had 7 catches for 76 yards and had more to say to those great San Francisco fans he loved so much.
I have played with some of the best players to ever play the game, and I'm very appreciative. And the guys that we have right here, these guys are going to be good. You guys got to believe in them and keep encouraging them. They're going to be good.
You know, what I did, you know, by no means overshadowed, you know, number 80. He's been very instrumental in my success, and, you know, I just thank God for him. You know, he's taught me a lot on and off the field. And definitely, if you want to say the torch is, you know, being passed, you know, I take that torch and I just try to just keep going.
Terrell Owens is the human torch. Salary cap reasons mean San Francisco will likely let Rice go at season's end. Jeff Garcia threw for more than 400 yards, mostly to those two guys. In Carolina, Steve Berline and Mushin Muhammad had the Panthers up 7-0 over the San Diego Chargers. But San Diego got on the board when big Albert Fontenot tackled Berline for a safety, making it 7-2. Then Terrell Fletcher caught a 25-yard touchdown pass from Ryan Leaf to put the Chargers up 9-7. And Gerald Dixon stepped in front of a Berline pass and took the interception 36 yards for for a touchdown. San Diego up 16-7 at the half. Then the Chargers started to realize that if they started winning, they might lose the #1 draft pick. Steve Berline to Isaac Bird. Bird escapes 2 tackles, goes 34 yards to cut the Chargers' lead to 2. Ryan Leaf still in the game. He hit Steve Hayden to make it 22-14 San Diego. But Ehanye Oiwazuki returns a punt 64 yards. Again, the Chargers' lead is cut by 2, and watch the Oiwazuki shuffle. Then Jay Williams blocked the field goal attempt. Doug Evans eventually picks the ball up for a 54-yard touchdown. Carolina go on to win 30-22. And when you look up the word hapless in the dictionary, you'll find 2 lightning bolts and a big picture of Mike Riley. Carolina beats San Diego. Ryan Leaf's big day is ruined. Steve Berline's little day is enough for Carolina to win.
Just one more week, San Diego. Just one more week. But at the top of the show there, I said it was going to be goodbye to a legend, and you said...
The Giants, remember, were behind Philadelphia, even though they had the better record. It's kind of like the U.S. elections. Now the Giants have clinched the division, and Philadelphia have clinched a wild card. Washington is out of it. Minnesota now leading the division. They can clinch the division if Tampa Bay lose. Detroit's still in the wild card hunt. Green Bay still mathematically in as well. And out west, New Orleans, as you see, if they end up tied with St. Louis, they've got all the tiebreakers over the Rams. They can also clinch the division if the Rams lose to Tampa in our game, which you'll see tomorrow.
Indeed. And New Orleans, I mean, to be in terms...
win next week, they will actually clinch home field advantage throughout the playoffs. Minnesota's thrown that one away. They'll clinch the division if they win or the Bucks lose. If Tampa beats St. Louis, they're in the playoffs. If Tampa beats St. Louis, New Orleans will win the NFC West. St. Louis will clinch a playoff spot with a win. And if the playoffs were to begin today, we wouldn't have a program tomorrow. And the way that the situation would look is that Indianapolis, Pittsburgh, Detroit, and Green Bay would be out. Tampa, St. Louis, the Jets would be in. Miami would be the AFC East champs. New Orleans would be the NFC West champs.
So that arguably the biggest question then of the season is going to be, are St. Louis about to pay their last visit to Tampa Bay? This is, of course, the big one.